What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So in this video, I wanted to talk to you about all of the proposals that you really need to know about before any stimulus bill, any stimulus phase 4 is passed. And I'll get into all of that. Before I start, hit the like button, also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one. And I do a giveaway that's up in the card, so make sure you check that out. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this was just because there was a new bill that was introduced at the Senate level that's really interesting to a lot of people, and that's because it really offers more money. It's not really because it's anything that makes total sense. It kind of doesn't make total sense when you add a lot of things up, but there was something new and people are excited about it. So I wanted to really look at all of the important proposals that are out there that you really need to focus on and just really get rid of all of the rest because they don't really matter. Now, first, let's start with everybody's favorite, the Emergency Money for the People Act. Now, this is a bill where you would get $2,000 per month. Anybody over the age of 16 would get $2,000 a month. Anybody under the age of 16 that's a dependent will get $500. The guardian will get $500. And this does have an income threshold, an income cap at $130,000 for an individual or $260,000 for married filed jointly. So this is an interesting bill for a lot of people. And I mentioned in so many videos, so many people are backing it. You know, I forget how many people are actually backing it, but you have a lot of excitement around this bill, even to the point to where we have petitions that are over 100,000 signatures. So make sure you sign, you know, your name into that petition as well. Over 100,000 signatures. The White House has to respond to it. I don't know how much that will help, but I guess it will help more than the White House not responding to it. So this is a really interesting bill that a lot of people are talking about. It's something that people think are going to get passed more than anything else that's out there, as long as, you know, Republicans want to pass it, which it's kind of showing that they don't want to pass it. But if we kind of do, you know, tit for tat type of thing, hey, you know, you get this and I get that, really negotiation strategies, then you can get money to Americans every single month. So the next bill that I wanted to introduce, not really introduce because I've talked about it before, was the free rent and mortgage, which a lot of Democrats are talking about as well, because it makes sense for people to get their mortgage or their rent forgiven. And that's 100% true because a lot of people are back on the largest expense that they have, which is mortgage or rent. You know, that's around what, 25% of somebody's income. So if it's around 20 to 25%, that means that's 20 to 25% that's going right back into your pocket. Now, this would be great, but it would really benefit more of the rich rather than helping out you know, lower income individuals. Like, say if someone has a $500 rental property, or, you know, $600 rent that they have to pay, then it's not going to be as much as somebody that has $50,000 worth of rent on whatever apartment or whatever house they have. Or if they have $50,000 mortgage, you know, then that's going to help out them more than it'll help out you. That's $50,000 that they don't have to worry about versus, you know, $600 that somebody else doesn't have to worry about, and now they're struggling for food as well, just because $600 was maybe 25%, 20 to 25%, and what's left is they still need to pay water, they need to pay gas, they need to pay electric, they need to pay food, they need to, you know, get as many things that are necessities as possible, but they can't because they only covered the rent or mortgage. So this would kind of have to be passed in conjunction with another bill, something that puts money directly in their hands. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about was payroll tax cuts. And the reason I wanted to talk about this was because Trump actually said recently that nothing will happen unless payroll tax cuts are implemented. So we need to see these payroll tax cuts be implemented for however long, even ongoing to maybe the next year. And then we can discuss, you know, getting money into people's hands, because the people that are working really need to, you know, get that payroll tax cut. So this is important to be able to do, you know, that leveraging situation, negotiation, and say, hey, you know, you'll get these payroll tax cuts. We just need to put money into people's hands. So this is why this is important with any bill that's introduced. Also, business liability insurance, which is another type of, you know, negotiation strategy, adding in the payroll tax cuts and the business liability insurance, will help us really negotiate better. So this is why these two are in there. It's not anything that's truly important, but I guess it is important. You want to put it over in the important section if you're really trying to pass something and you know that Republicans have, leverage here. So that's another bill. Also, the new bill that everybody's talking about, which is the Economic Crisis Support Act, which you will get $2,000 for basically, everyone. There is an exception to this group, but you'll basically get it for everybody. And the interesting thing about this is you'll get it for the adult, you'll get it for your child. So say you have a household of, let's say it's me, my wife, and Harper. That's three people that would get $2,000. A dependent would also get $2,000. So it would be $6,000 altogether. But the kicker is that it's retroactive. So it goes back to March, which I don't know if that's going to be in the final bill, the final version, but it goes back to March. So basically, I would get 3 months of $6,000 there. That would be absolutely amazing to be able to have that money. Do I necessarily need it? I would say that I don't necessarily need it, but there are people that make, a little bit more than me or a little bit less than me, and they lost their job and they don't, have anything in place of what they had as income. So they may have $5,000 worth of bills every single month for 3 months, adds up to $15,000. Now they get $18,000. They have $3,000 left over to pay for food and water and all this other stuff. So that could be something that could really help out a lot of individuals. And it's not just those, upper class people that would get it. Now they do have a cap, which is $100,000, and it's not the end all be all cap. So this is going to be amazing to be able to have that Economic Crisis Support Act in place. And this is what's important, is that it was introduced at the Senate level. So this is not something that's smaller. Obviously, the Emergency Money for the People Act is something that's really gathering a lot of attention, and it's more interesting as you start adding on more expensive bills. It starts to make the other ones look a little bit better. So I think that might be their strategy, negotiation strategy. I love negotiating. If you don't know, I go to car dealerships and negotiate thousands of dollars off of the car all the time. And I don't understand why anybody would go to a car dealership and, pay full price, but that's a whole nother video. If you want me to make a video on that, let me know. Eventually I'll make a video on that. But this whole stimulus situation, getting the economy back to normal, will help out everybody. Now, what do I really think about these important bills? I think that the payroll tax cuts and the business liability insurance are very important to be able to give us that negotiation, leverage there, any type of leverage, basically saying, hey, we want the payroll tax cuts to go through, but we also need, money in people's hands. Then you can have that negotiation, even though Republicans do have, the majority there. So I think that the Emergency Money for the People Act is going to be something that people look at more seriously after seeing the Economic Crisis Support Act. I think that is a little too extreme. If it gets to the point to where it's retroactive, and that's a good thing, retroactive pay, but they need to reduce the retroactive pay and then get up to the regular amount as you move forward. Because I feel like getting $18,000 for, 3 people is going to be ridiculous for the first month payment. That's going to be absolutely insane. So you can think about it and say, what is this going to cost over a long period of time, over 6 months? But technically, over the first 3 months that you're supposed to be getting this payment, that's all going to be a lump sum right now. It can be $600 billion, it can be $800 billion per month, but then you're going to times that by 3 right from the start. So this is what I think about it. The Emergency Money for the People Act is probably going to be the one that they go after. It really has the most attention, and just sign this petition that I'm going to have down below. Make sure we get, as many, signatures as we possibly can. 100,000 signatures is great. I would like to get it to 500,000 or 1 million or 2 million or whatever, to let people know that we all need this money. Like, everybody needs this money and everybody can use it. They shut down daycares, people can't use daycares, and now they have to, take off of work a little bit if they are working from home, or they're not working at all and they still, have to pay for all of their expenses. So let me know what you think of all of these bills, what you think is the most likely to pass. If you feel like anything is going to change within that bill. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. But that's my video, guys. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. And remember that I do a giveaway every single week. Check the video out up in the cards. I think it'll be over here, actually. So check it out up in the cards. It'll be right there. So click that. go over there, figure out, what's going on in the giveaway. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna have to get out of here, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.